What's up, y'all? Welcome to the podcast with Soul. Please follow me on the podcast with Soul on Instagram, and please follow me on the podcast with Soul on Spotify. You can watch all of these videos on Spotify. Share this video with somebody who you are arguing with about the Puffy trial, discussing it with about the Puffy trial, or dialoguing with, fighting with, whatever y'all doing together with this trial. Please share this video with them and tell them I said thank you for watching. Young Miami and Gina stayed true to Puffy and to the game. It came out, Cassie testified on the stand that Puffy had maybe 9 women, and he told them all straight up that they wasn't the only one, that he was single, that he was polyamorous, that if you want to get down with me, you want to chill with me, we could chill, but after I chill with you, I got some other honeys over there, I'm gonna go chill with them too. They love me too. He told them all straight up. They all knew it. They all knew they weren't the only one. Gina was in the indictment as victim number 3. She said she wasn't coming down there to testify against Puffy, and she didn't go. And she didn't go. Carisha, Young Miami, she didn't come. She ain't filed no lawsuit. Gina ain't filed no lawsuit. None of them other. Where's the other 6 or 7 other honeys? It's just 2 honeys that got on the stand and snitched and ratted and pointed at that man who was facing death. A life sentence, 30 calendars, 30 years. A man that helped them both. Cassie, career-wise, monetarily, paid her rent. She drove a Jaguar. She probably had a credit card that he paid. She didn't have to want for nothing. Went to the Met Gala with him, Grammys, Music Awards, American Music Awards, Tony Awards, Emmy. Anything that had the red carpet, Cassie was on the red carpet with Puff. She got on the stand as a government witness and pointed at that man and said that I felt like I was a SEX worker, that he rapeed me on the stand in front of his family, in front of his mother, in front of his kids, after she had already settled her civil suit and received $20 million from Puff. Jane Doe, not even worth mentioning. She ended up cooperating with the feds, met with them 24 times pre-trial. And Puffy needed to see that. He needed to see that. And I believe he needed to see it because I went through the same thing. He needed to see that his judgment was off. You could have never told Puff 10 weeks ago, before this trial, you could have never made him believe that Cassie or Gina Cassie or Jane Doe would get up on the stand and him facing a life sentence and work for the government, the prosecution, work for the feds to convict him in front of his family, he never would have believed that. I'm certain of that. Because some people betrayed me in my federal case, that until they did it, I never would have ever believed they would have done that to me. But they did. There were two women that supported me when I was in prison, a Puerto Rican girl and a Jamaican girl. They sent me money, put money on my books the whole time I was in prison. Every month. Took my phone calls. The Jamaican girl let me get released to her house when I was homeless, getting out of prison. She kept my truck there, all my clothes. And to this day, me and her, we don't talk. We're not having sex. There's no relationship. Neither with the Puerto Rican girl. There was at one point with both of them. But they can call me at any point in time in my life, no matter what time of day. I can be with my woman, my main girl, or my wife. And I would tell my wife up front, say, look, these two girls, ain't nothing going on with us sexually, but if they call me, I'm going. If they call me and tell me they need me, I gotta go. And I'm going. Because when somebody sticks with you when you at your lowest, you never forget that. Look at the dudes that you know and the women that you know that went to prison and the people that stuck by them when they was in prison. They don't never leave. The dudes that got a girl that did they bid with them, that bidded with them the whole time, they don't never leave them women. Because they never forget that when I was at my lowest, this woman was there for me. And it's just a loyalty thing. Cassie and Jane Doe, they wouldn't even be able to get nothing from Puff. He probably won't even answer their phone calls ever again in life. And when the universe get finished with Cassie, tapping her on her shoulder, and it's her turn, and she gonna need somebody to come to her aid, because what you put out into the universe comes back to you, baby. Jane Doe, you too. You gonna wish you was been able to call Puff for some help, but he's not gonna take your call. Gina and Cassie and all them other women that Puffy was dealing with that didn't testify against him, they locked in soon as he get home. Because he is gonna compare, he's got a reference point of what two women did to him. One of them that he loved, that he was in a relationship with for 11 years. And he's got a reference point of what they did to him and what the other women didn't do. And them other women, Young Miami, Gina, because he beat the RICO, there's no asset forfeiture. He gets to keep all of his money and all of his businesses. No asset forfeiture. If he would have been convicted of RICO, he would have lost everything. His family would have been broke. They would have took everything. Young Miami and Gina and all the mother honeys, they'll be able to ask him for anything, and he'll give it to them, because he'll remember they could have testified against me, but they didn't. KK can get anything she wants. D-Rock, Fahim, all the names that came up during the trial that didn't betray him, that didn't get on the stand and testify against him, he'll always take their phone calls for the rest of his life and the rest of their natural life. That's important. That's important. And what Cassie did to him and what Jane Doe did to him, just keep living and watch how their story unfolds. You don't do that to people that showed you love and they got kids. Puffy's got a 4-year-old daughter. You don't do that to a man like that, indirectly harming his children. You get on the stand and testify against him. If you was there during the good times, you got to be there during the bad times. If you was there when the sun was out, when it started raining, you got to stay there. Because integrity ain't never went out of style. Stick with your friends, man. And you find your friends 2 times. When you sick and when you in trouble. Whoever come to see about you then, them your friends. If you want to do a one-on-one mentorship call with me, click on the link underneath. Peace.